And we are live. I'm Wolfie, y'all. Today, the San Francisco 49ers play the Seattle Seahawks. Absolutely excited. Must-win game, in my opinion. Very big. It is a divisional game. We need to win this. We cannot go down 0-3 against the division rivals. It's such a big deal. Does that mean that we're out of the playoffs and it's over? Of course not. But God, the hole is just being dug and dug and dug and dug. That honestly, winning this game would seriously boost the confidence of the players, of the fans, of the coaches, of like just the energy and the vibe itself would just alter if we were to win this game. If we lose this game, the complete opposite happens here. And that is something that we cannot afford. It's possible. It's still possible. But when you're losing in divisional games, it's a lot harder to go into the playoffs because if you win your division, you obviously get in. And it's very rare that the third or fourth team in a division makes it to the playoffs. So it's very, very crucial that we win this game. And it's just crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to just dive into the game. We're going to talk about the injuries. We're going to look at the betting odds for the Seattle Seahawks versus 49ers game. Then we're going to check out an article by ESPN, what the 49ers have to overcome. There's one in there I don't agree with, which is like injuries. You can't not overcome, but it says like they need to fix. That's something you can't fix. But we'll jump into that later. Then we'll watch Steve Young, what he had to say about Brock Purdy's performance on Sunday. I actually thought that was interesting, so I kind of pivoted Kyle Shanahan's press conference to that. And then we'll check out Bosa and Malik Mustafa's interviews because Malik Mustafa is the starter of the 49ers at safety. Let's go. So let me go ahead and bring up my chat real quick. I hope everyone's doing fantastic. I hope your morning's great. I hope everything's peaceful. I hope that it just becomes the greatest Thursday for you, for all 49ers fans, because guess what? If you had a great day and you are a 49ers fan, that means the 49ers won. See what I did there? Yeah. All right, so let me go ahead and bring that up. Let's see what we got. Oh. I don't need to hear myself talk. Got the chat up. I got the chat up just in case you guys have anything to say. I thought you want to say hi. I usually try to, get your comment up, so I appreciate y'all. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the injury report. All right, let me bring it up. Share the screen. I'm going to remember to share the screen this time because I always forget to share the screen, man. Always forget. There we go. I'm watching it. I'm making sure this happens. I made sure it happened. Okay. All right. Next up. So here's the injury report we got going on. Starting off with Chris Connolly. He has an oblique injury. He did not practice, was limited practice the past 2 days. I don't expect him to play. In my opinion, there's a chance that he will play. There's no real sign to that. But, I mean, if we have Cowling back and a bunch of other players back, what I'm trying to say, it's not desperate for him to come back. And based on from what I'm hearing from press conferences and other news outlets, he's probably not going to play. But if he does, it's not like it's going to alter anything or say anything big for the team because he's playing or not playing. And no offense to Chris Connolly. I do think that Chris Connolly and Brock Purdy have a great connection, but that really hasn't been anything this year, so I don't think we're missing out on much. Let me go ahead and get my dog outside because she picks this time to go outside every time. You pick this time every time, girl. I really don't think my dog likes it when I start going live and start talking to my computer screen. She looks at me like I'm weird and she's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm in Arkham Asylum up in here. All right, so we just got done talking about Chris Connolly. Started with Jordan Elliott. He is out for this game. He has a knee injury, did not practice all week. He's not on IR, so that's good news. However, he's not playing. Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles, he is out for the rest of this game too. He has a calf injury. Talanoa Hufanga went on IR recently, I think on Wednesday officially. He has a torn ligament in his hand. But I will say this, no, I do love Talanoa Hufanga. I love him as a leader. I love the energy he brings. I love his vibe. But this year is not his year, man. He still needs to come back and really kind of, resurgence. He needs a resurgence. And he hasn't exactly been that. I've seen him miss some tackles. allow some plays here and there. I don't think Hufanga has been playing good, so him being out, I don't think it's the end of the world. However, Malik Mustafa, I think, has been playing better than Talanoa Hufanga in Talanoa Hufanga's limited snaps. Malik Mustafa has so much potential. He has so much fire. I think he's out there balling. Yeah, he's making some mistakes, but he's a rookie. And I'm excited to see what he has to say. Excited about that, but we'll jump more into that in a minute. Talanoa Hufanga is out for the rest of the next 4 weeks for sure. So, again, not going to miss him, in my opinion, just because at the state that he's currently playing, it's about average. And I feel like we could find someone that's doing what he's doing in free agency at this point. I'm not even kidding. I feel like we could pull up somebody from the practice squad or something like that. Like Mahoney, I think, would even be equivalent to having Hufanga out there at this point. Except for Mahoney's probably faster, I think. Next up, we got Jake Moody. He is out. He's going to be out for the next 4 weeks, so I'm not going to keep talking about that. But just for right now, I'm going to let you guys know he's out for the next 4 weeks. He's on IR, has a high ankle sprain. It's going to, from what I hear, it's going to be 4+ weeks for his recovery. He is young, so that could actually unfold where it just takes 4 weeks. But high ankle sprains usually are 4+ weeks. So we'll see how that goes. And we picked up kicker Matthew Wright. He's actually a pretty good kicker, in my opinion. And quite recently, we dove into his stats. He's 40-for-47. He's 35 of 37 for extra points. And if you actually look at his success rate, percentage-wise, it's 85%. And if you go to look at the stats today and last year's kickers, he would be ranked somewhere between 20th and 19th. And honestly, for a free agent kicker picked up right now in this time of the season, I'll take that. Okay, I'm not going to put him on a pedestal and say he's going to be great. He's going to be good. I do expect him to miss some kicks. I do expect him to disappoint us on some level. However, if he can just be that guy, considering that we hurt our kicker, who is 8th in the league, by the way, I'll be happy. I'll be satisfied. I thought we were going to pick up somebody who's been struggling and just hope to God he's good. But if he can just be mid, all right, miss some kicks here and there, and I purposely as a fan don't put him up on a pedestal, I think I'll be satisfied with this guy. Just based on 85%, I think that's pretty good odds. Next up, we got Charvarius Ward. He has a knee injury. He is expected to play. Now, should he cover DK Metcalf? Probably not. If he's dealing with knee injuries, he's not the same player. He's not fully to go. And I know DK's kind of been struggling this year. Hasn't been great. Still good, but hasn't been great like previous years he usually is. It just depends upon the situation, but I think that if Charvarius Ward gets burned one time by him or whatever, you guys got to make another game plan, switch it up a little bit. Because if Charvarius Ward is actually hurt and he did not practice, limited practice both on Thursday and Friday, I do expect him to be a little bit slow. Okay, he had a little bit of problems with Tutu Atwell. I know Tutu Atwell's fast, but Charvarius Ward is smart. He's a smart player. He knows how to put himself in a good position. And I got a feeling that his knee was hurting and he wasn't putting himself in the position that he would like in that situation. Next up, you got Jair Rowe. He is expected to play. George Kittle expected to play. Fred Warner expected to play. And Jacob Cowing expected to play. We're about to get Jacob Cowing back. I hope to see him, man. I thought we were going to see him against the Cardinals, but we end up not. Thank God we're actually going to see him. Maybe. We know where he's going to do kick returns. We do know that. He'll do some punt returns. That's about it. But hopefully we could see Brock Purdy throw him some balls because I liked how fast he is. I love his fire. I love his potential because he's got really good potential. He plays way bigger. The dude is 5'8", 5'9", whatever. That is short. That is even short for a running back. Now, if he can just play like he has been playing, which is bigger than his size, and that's what he's been doing. He's been playing a lot bigger than his 5'8", 5'9" frame. The dude can jump up, and he's very good at the point of the catch. He knows where to be. So hopefully he can translate that to against scheme. Because he was doing that in his preseason and training camp, he was dominating. Now let's see what he can do against scheme. Can he beat players who are scheming against him? We'll see what happens. But I'm very excited about Jacob Cowing. I hope I see him play. I want to see a lot of him because I'm so tired. Because right now, the 49ers are last in separation. We need someone to emerge. We need someone who, because apparently I know Ayuk dominated, but it still doesn't change the fact that we're last in separation. That means Brock Purdy is throwing this shit in tight windows on a consistent basis. This explains why at times you'll see you'll see Brock Purdy running around with his head cut off a lot lately this year. And you're like, okay, the offensive line is actually giving him a lot more time to throw the ball. What's going on? Receivers are not getting open, like at all. And that's what Brock Purdy's dealing with. He has to choose who at the time, all right, who has their back turned, even though they're locking down a receiver that I could throw to, that receiver could see it coming and try to make a play on it 50-50 wise. That's what it seems like. There was a touchdown last year against the Cardinals. Not a touchdown, but Brock Purdy threw it. And it was a tight window with Juwan Jennings and another corner. I don't remember who it was. I thought Juwan Jennings could have caught that. If he was just a tad bit better with his separation, that would have been a touchdown. So I do agree that, yeah, the offensive line is doing better, and that's what I like to see. But it came with the caveat of having the worst separation in the league. Brock Purdy quite literally has to be accurate all the time. All the time. There is no wide open dudes out there. There is no like, okay, this receiver's doing all the work. All I got to do is just drop. It's been nothing like that. It's been nothing like that. And Brock Purdy is still, I think, 4th in yards. He's still like, I'm so impressed with Brock Purdy and what he's doing. And there was always one question I had was like, if he's got all this time, why isn't he getting to the wide receivers? And then I quite recently found this stat that we're last in separation. I'm like, that's it. That's why. Okay, that makes a lot of sense now. So I just want to tangent about separation, but I'm just saying I hope Jacob Cowing can be that guy. Ayuk, 8 catches, 147 yards. If he can replicate that and get better at his separation, get more open, because he does look like he's getting better. If he's back to form week 6, like I predicted and Poggy predicted, mainly Poggy really, if he can get back to form, that means we could have 2 wide receivers with good route running, good separation. Same thing with Pearsall. Pearsall comes back. His thing was also separation and route running. If we can get those 3 wide receivers going by week 8, week 9, we should do great. We should be a lot better than we're doing right now. Seriously, we should do a lot better than we're doing now. All right, let me go ahead and got some comments. That is the 49ers injury report currently right now. We're going to have Jair Brown, George Kittle, Fred Warner, and Jacob Cowing back. Who's out? I forgot. Jake Moody is out, so I was on IR. Funga is out. He's on IR. Fowles is out, and so is most likely Connolly as well. And then Jordan Elliott is also out. So that is your injury report for this game. That is who is playing on the 49ers today versus the Seahawks. Let's do, there's some good questions in here. Not questions, but comments. Tyler Helton, the coolest Chiefs fan I know. Open stream. I'm going to work right now. Oh, have a good day. Yo, says him, Wolfie during a test hit. Test hits. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but hey, Brock and Kittle reminds me of Brady and Gronk. That's a little bit more. That's a bit too much praise there. I wouldn't say that. I would say they're a good connection, but I want to go Brady Gronk. I wish it was Brady Gronk. That'd be dope. All right, so then we're going to check out the rest of the injury report for the Seattle Seahawks because they do have some notable injuries on defense where this offense should just like go on fire, should just be ignited, should just really tear apart this defense. I got my cat in because now I got animals, man, they're demanding. We're cracking that whip. All right, I'm back. Who would have thought that two animals would be so demanding? Wolfie, what's your take on the 49ers' new kicker, Matthew Wright? I just talked about it. So in short, I'm excited about it. I'm not going to put him on a pedestal. I'm not going to have my expectations be a guy who's going to make every single kick. I'm not going to have an expectation that he's going to make every single extra point. My expectations are that he's just going to make some kicks. I expect him to make kicks under 49. However, seeing his stats and what he can play, he has 85% kicking rate right now, which is right now compared to other kickers in the league currently, that would put him somewhere between 20th and 17th. So he's actually not even the worst kicker, us picking him up, technically based on his history. So if he could be that guy, I'll be extremely happy. But if he's not that guy, that's fine. He's a free agent kicker that we're picking up on week 6. You know what I mean? So I don't have the biggest expectations, but I do have hope that he's going to beat that expectations. And I know 49ers fans are going to like really put a lot on him for absolutely no reason. Like he just got picked up. All right. He's supposed to be a reserve, nobody freelance kicker, not a franchise kicker, not a kicker you sign for multiple years, just some guy on the street. and people are going to put him on a pedestal like he's Jake Moody, like as if he got drafted in the 3rd round. That's what I'm afraid of. But my expectations are he's just going to do his best. I expect him to miss some kicks. But as long as he's better than Wish Niskout, I can't say his name, but you know what I'm talking about. The punter. As long as he's better than the punter, as long as he's better than Brandon McManus has been, because I don't know if Brandon McManus is washed. So as long as he makes under 50-yard field goals and he like misses one, okay, that's my expectation. Papa J in the house. In the house. What up, Milwaukee and Tyler? Yo, Sam in the house. In the live. All right, so that's the injury report for the 49ers. Let's go ahead and look at the Seattle Seahawks. They currently have Byron Murphy, their rookie they got in the 1st round this year. He is out. He was not the starter this year, so if anyone's saying that, that's not true. He was, from what I remember and watched, because I haven't checked the Seahawks depth chart in probably some few weeks now, but he wasn't the initial starter at D tackle. But however, Byron Murphy, their 1st round draft pick, is out, which still helps us. Nuwasu, he is out. I think he went to IR. I could be wrong. And then Reek Woolen is also out as well. That is a huge deal because their other corner has been allowing like 100-something passer rating, and Tyreek Woolen coming in was allowing like 16%. So I do expect a good passing game here because I got some stats for you guys. Here's currently the stats for the Seattle Seahawks defense. They allowed 2 touchdowns, 257 yards, and 110 passer rating to Daniel Jones. And I know our offense is better than that Giants team. Okay, red zone issues are not, okay, because we got those, but I'll get into that. We should dominate this team. Not dominate, we should do well against this defense because the offense for the Seattle Seahawks really isn't that bad. They're actually doing pretty well. It's just their running backs aren't doing very well. Geno Smith is actually playing on fire. He's doing really good. Geno Smith right now is 4 games above 280 yards passing. Holy crap. That's really, really good, especially in this year of football. So I do expect Geno Smith to probably go off because our defense is not playing very good either. So I do expect Geno Smith to continue what he's doing, maybe not reach 280 yards, but I do expect him to pass well throughout this game. But their run game has been their weakness. But coming back to the defense, they're allowing they have problems on defense. And especially since they're missing 3 starters, I guess Byron Murphy too would be the 3rd one. They're going to do a lot worse. And I expect us to do better than Daniel Jones. I truly, truly do. I mean, even if you think Brock Purdy's mid, he is better than Daniel Jones. If you think Brock Purdy's the 15th best quarterback, he's still better than Daniel Jones. So I expect a lot. I'm expecting a lot from this offense again in this game. I truly am. I'm expecting a lot better, even in the red zone. I know red zone is mostly scheme, really, because you have to scheme up people getting open. And if your receivers aren't getting open with the worst separation in the league, I still expect us to score some touchdowns in the red zone. Because honestly, our biggest strength so far, we're 1st in the league when it comes to everything outside of the red zone. When it's not the red zone, we're first. What was it? Hold on. The 49ers are 1st in fewest 3-and-outs in the NFL. Out of 48 drives, they have 4 3-and-outs. Okay. 2nd in first downs behind the Ravens. That is 8.3%. Oh, so they have 8.3% chance of having a 3-and-out so far. An 8.3% chance of having a 3-and-out. That is crazy. Their offense is actually a lot better than last year. It's just when they reach the red zone, they're significantly worse. When they're in the red zone, last year, we were 1st in the league in the red zone. This year, we're 41%, 24. We're 29th at 41% in the red zone. That is fucking terrible. That is a significant drop off. From 1st to 29th? Jesus Christ. And then in first and goal situation. So from the 10-yard line to the end zone, they are terrible. They're even worse. First and goal last year, they were 4th with 83% chance of getting a touchdown. This year, they're 31st in the red zone. Sorry, not the red zone, first and goal. They have a 50% chance of scoring a touchdown. They go from 83% to 50% first and goal. We're going backwards. And quite literally, this offense would be elite, first in the NFL, if they just didn't have red zone woes. Heck, if they didn't have first and goal woes, they would be up there. But no, it's like everything, once that field becomes shorter and Brock Purdy's just dominating the first downs, and that's what the evidence shows, the stats we see. Once that field becomes shorter, man, the windows become tighter, scheme or Brock Purdy isn't getting it done. Because Kyle Shanahan's supposed to be like an offensive mastermind as the media portrays him. He's supposed to be getting players open. The first read is supposed to be getting open, and they're not. The first read is the coach. We can all agree that, right? We can all agree that the first read is the coach saying, hey, this guy is supposed to be open. That is only happening 50% of the times. What a drop-off from 83%. Just outstanding. Outstanding just drop-off right now when it comes to the red zone. But before that, though, statistically, they're on fire. They're best in the league. Best in the league. But once they reach the red zone, they're the Patriots, man. They're the Patriots the moment they enter that red zone. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's almost like defenses and other defensive coordinators have found a weakness. And it's like, hey, bend, don't break. That is their motto, it seems, against the 49ers. That's how you beat them. Yeah, bend a little bit, but once you get that little red zone, man, just don't break. You'll be fine because they can't handle short field situations. And that's scary. I understand that, yeah, it is a short field, but other teams are successfully doing this. So there is no excuse there. I don't want to hear, oh, the windows are tighter, so it's going to be a lot. No, I don't want to hear that because other teams also deal with the same situation and they're doing just fine. Last year, we're dealing with the same situation. We're doing just fine. It's such a team effort to fail in the red zone. Wide receivers are not getting open. Brock Purdy, yeah, I do think that he threw a dime to Kittle, and then he threw one that was nice, but he was wide open. But he threw it right to George Kittle for that touchdown against the Cardinals. But outside of that, man, you gotta take risks here and there. You gotta throw a good ball. You gotta make a wide receiver come open. On top of that, you also need your wide receivers to get separation of some kind. Because it seems like when it feels shorter, that's not happening. And so Brock Purdy, the separation of the receivers, and then also the first read is not getting open. And that's Kyle Shanahan. So it's like all three of these people that work the offense are failing in the red zone. It's like they're working together collectively to not succeed in the red zone. And yeah, that's what I have to say about that. So those are the stats that currently that's happening in the red zone. It is such an issue. I've been saying it for weeks now, but now the stats are starting to stack up. The trend is starting to stack up, and we're supposed to see it. Because if you're seeing it like the first few weeks or whatever, you're like, okay, I noticed that. That's interesting. But once it becomes a trend, that's when you get concerned. And there is a trend here. There's literally, it baffles me how we're amazing everywhere except red zone. So. Strawberry's in here. I think I just saw him. We got a couple other people. Milwaukee, I said hi to you. Strawberry the host. What up, bro? Welcome to the stream. I'm not pretty. I'm a Jones supporter. Jones might be the same as No, I'm not even. I'm not going to entertain that. Started for a few weeks ago saying that bad. Oh, water on the bridge. We're good. Sorry, I wasn't trying to annoy you. I was confused a little bit, but it's cool. It's good. All right, so that is pretty much what's happening between the 49ers and the Seahawks. I do expect the 49ers to do good against this defense, especially since they're missing 3 starters, crucial starters at that. And their backup corner, too, Reek Woolen, has been allowing, I believe, 100% passer rating, not 100 passer rating. He's terrible. So they got one good corner out there in Devon Witherspoon. And if Daniel Jones can torch this defense, I expect Brock Purdy to. Okay? I expect some wide receivers to get open. I expect something. I expect one of the 3 phases to overcome whatever that defense is bringing in the red zone. I'm serious. Be it Brock Purdy, be it Kyle Shanahan scheming it up, be it the wide receivers getting separation. One of those just needs to stand out. It's killing me right now. Jones is a better runner. I disagree with that 110%, brother. I think Brock Purdy's better. I think he's dominant. I think he's a lot better runner than people give him credit for. I truly do that. That's crazy. I've also seen Brock Purdy break out of tackles. And that's part of the run ability. You know, I disagree with that. But if you want to believe, that's fine. It's not like Brock Purdy's way better than Daniel Jones, but I do think like if there was a tier, like tiers, I would agree with you then. I would say they're like remotely in the same tier. But if I had to take one run game over the other, I would easily take Brock Purdy. Easily. But I would agree if you want, we can agree in the middle though. And if you want to think tiers, I can see them being in the same tier of runner. Yeah. Spurs is a runner. I just think Jones is an edge. Yeah. If you want to believe, that's fine. Like I said, they're the same tier. So it's like if it's really just your opinion at that point, of wherever you think. So if you think Daniel Jones, totally support it, totally respect it, totally get it, totally get where you come from. But I'm giving you the edge to Purdy personally. All right, so Geno has been dominating. Like I said, last 4 games, 280 yards in the last 4 games. That's an incredible stat. So I do expect him to perform against our defense, especially since our defense isn't that good. So I do expect that to happen. However, the Giants are not doing very good in the run game. Their running backs aren't getting anything done. Geno Smith is their run game. Is quite literally the run. Geno Smith right now has 30-plus yards on average every game. Last week against the Giants, he went 72 yards on 4 carries. That's 8. He's averaging 18 yards a carry. Geno Smith is. Geno Smith is that offense right now. It truly is. And it's actually incredible. I can't believe I'm saying that in 2024, just thinking of myself in 2014 whenever he came in the league. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. Oh, you could totally agree that he's a way better passer, 110%. Bird dog, Geno is the man, says Sam. He's got talent. Shockingly enough, he's got a lot of talent. I'm trying to see if there's any other cool stats I could throw at you guys. Oh, right now the Seattle Seahawks I didn't put this out. The Seattle Seahawks defense is allowing 96.7 passer rating to wide receivers, and then they're allowing 100.3 rate against tight ends. I'm expecting Purdy to go off. I'm expecting it, especially if the offensive line is doing well. Again, I know the wide receivers are last in separation, but if these wide receivers have to be better than Darius Slayton, like one of them, Ayuk, for God's sakes, got to be at least like Darius, because Darius Slayton went off last week. He went off. Okay. I expect someone on our offense to go off. Truly. And it might be George Kittle if they're allowing a better passer rating tight ends. I think a lot of like 5 catches for 40-something yards to a tight end, which is actually a lot for a tight end. But for George Kittle, I expect him to get a lot more yards with those 5 catches. So, because they allowed that passer rating to a rookie tight end, Theo Johnson, who's like a 4th-round pick or a 3rd-round pick. I think it was a 3rd-round pick. So I think we wanted him. I heard rumors that we wanted him, and then they picked him up. So, but Theo Johnson, they allowed a serious, like, I'm just expecting this offense to do well. Not even the run game. I haven't even talked about the run game. The Seattle Seahawks are, where's that cool stat I had? Travis Ward, right now, the Seattle Seahawks, the offensive line, right now for the Seattle Seahawks, they're 30th in run and pass blocking. Run and pass blocking, they're 30th collectively. I'm expecting even our D-line, as thin as it is, to do well. I'm expecting this D-line to do well against the 30th ranked run and pass blocking offensive line, which is pretty much just 30th. Let's be real, 30th ranked offensive line. So I do, and if our defense can get to the quarterback and can rush Geno Smith and get some sacks, I expect our DBs to do well also. So Geno Smith, the trend for him is that he's performing. He's doing really well, and he's going to probably score some touchdowns, probably throw some good yards, probably a deep ball here and there. But there is a possibility, based on the 30th ranked offensive line and the defensive line that we're supposed to have, we could see that number be under 280 yards this game. I could totally see that. I truly can. But at the same time, considering how well the defensive scheme is not using Nick Bosa correctly, Collins or Leonard Floyd, I'm not gonna give my my hopes up too much there. I truly am. There's a possibility that, I hate saying this. There's a possibility, but when I say there is a possibility, I usually mean that in a surprising way, such as I expect our defense. If before the year I would expect our defense to hold Geno Smith to under 200 yards. But now when I say there's a possibility that Geno Smith is going to throw for more than 280 yards, I mean that in a surprising way, considering what our defense was supposed to be prior to the year. So that's possible. It just is. And I hate that because you have Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Charvarius Ward. You have all these superstars, and like a lot of other defensive coordinators have significantly less. They have significantly less than the 49ers. I don't give a shit what you say about speed. Okay? I don't care. They have significantly slower players too, and they're doing better than us. So I don't want to hear speed is the issue. Okay? I don't want to hear that one or two pieces are the problem because Devondre Campbell and Leonard Floyd aren't getting it done. I agree. That's a truth. That is a truth. However, there is other defenses out there that have like 4 or 5 of those players on their team, and they're doing great. So I expect this defense to do well with Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Charvarius Ward. I expect it. And that's not happening, and that's what's really killing me inside. And so when I say there's a possibility that the Geno Smith's going to go off, that hurts. It absolutely hurts me because that shouldn't be the case. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and jump to – I got my dog inside. Be right back. It's hot outside. That's it. Go. I'm back. All right. Look at some. We got some. All right. We got some comments. Let me jump into those real quick. Last 2 games, Geno has been good. Not entirely his fault they're losing. I was more impressed by his play in their losses than his play in their wins. I haven't seen all their games, but yeah, I don't think it's Geno's fault. I want it to be Geno's fault because I don't want their quarterback doing good. Much rather hear that DK and all of them are doing better. But got to give him his flowers, man. He's performing. It's so shocking. I did not expect. Geno actually just wasn't being utilized for all those years. It's so shocking to me. Geno deserves more praise than DK. Yeah, he does. I agree. Geno deserves it. Even though they're rivals, okay, and they're like my third most hated team. Got to give credit when credit's due, man. And Geno's popping off. Ward and Demo know how to get under this. Yeah, they better lock. I expect that too, even with Charvarius Ward's injury. And if his injury is actually slowing him down the way that some people are saying, I do expect Lenore to be on him then. I still expect it because DK is not doing good this year. He's not doing too hot. He's making some plays, but he's not very consistent this year. So I do agree. I think that no matter which corner we have on him, I expect Lenore to be able to lock him up. I know the size isn't there, but Lenore, like Cowing, can play bigger than his size. I expect Mustaf to have a group. I do too, man. And I want that to happen. I don't know if that's a want thing or an expectation thing, because if he's good, as like in the flashes that he's shown in the previous games and the previous snaps, and he can go through the entire game and play like that, I'd be very satisfied. For a 4th-round draft pick, okay, and playing like he's a starter, not even the worst, like a legit starter, that's what I want. That's what I want to happen. But we'll see. Once now he's not getting some snaps here and there. He's got the full-time job. It's his job right now. And I think even if Hufanga came back, it would be his job to lose if Mustafa is good. So this is Mustafa's chance. This is his opportunity to shine. Is he the star? Is he a steal in the draft? We'll find out. This is the game. This is the game to find out. We're going to see whether or not Geno Smith is throwing the ball over Malik Mustafa's head and they're scoring touchdowns. Pay attention to that. We're going to see if Malik Mustafa consistently, not just here and there tackle, We're going to know if he can consistently tackle. It's what is he doing consistently throughout the game is what's going to matter. No more sports in the house. What up, man? What? Ho, 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 ho. I just gave you a ho, 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 dog. I think Gino's got a lot more accurate impressions last year. It's gotten better, man. It's gotten better. Yeah, I mean, offensive scheme does matter always, for sure. He's doing a good job of getting that first read. The first read is the offensive coordinator's job. I'm sure we all agree with that, right? And if you're getting the ball out quickly, that means the first read most of the time is working out. So I do agree that their offensive coordinator is doing better. The Seahawks are doing a lot better than I ever expected. I'm not lying to you guys. Yeah, they may. If we beat them tonight, they go on a 3-game losing streak, but they're still performing on a level. You know what I mean? Like they're still showing fight. They're still showing fire. Like as if at any game they can suddenly go on a 5-game winning streak. They have that vibe about them right now. I want that to not be true, but I'm just not buying into their 2-game losing streak right now. I'm not buying into it. There's just something about it. Until I see them going on a 5-game or 6-game losing streak, like if they lose tonight and then the next 2 games or whatever, then I'll probably like, all right, I guess I was right. But as of right now, I'm wrong. The Seahawks, I still think are real. And I hate saying that, but I'm wearing my gear at work deep in Seahawks country. Represent. Good luck, though, man. Hopefully they don't lose. I hope they don't lose for your sake, brother, because I know it's like to live in enemy territory. I lived in Washington most of my life. You're in enemy territory, man. I believe. Hey, stay strong, man. Stay strong, dude. Oh my! I worked at a Fred Meyer in Washington State, and I'll never forget it, dude. I was the only 49ers fan around, and everyone, customers, my coworkers, everyone took shots, dude. Oh, it was hard. It was rough. That's when I had to learn that, when you lose, this is what happens. You got to take it. And it's not always easy, but that was my hardest lesson. I could either let this drag me down or I could face it. That's how I looked at it. Cause I was getting beaten to death cause that's when the Seattle Seahawks were like dominating the 49ers. And I was just getting wrecked left and right. And that's what I had to know. I had to have thick skin, and I had to know not to take this that seriously. And I had to be like, I got to face the music. I represented the team, and the team failed. I have to. So it's either face it or let it just destroy you. So represent. I'm twice everyone's size. I don't get much beef. Which phrase? I lived in Tri-Cities, so southeast Washington, the desert area, as someone would call it. But I don't know. I would still give you shit. Like people give my size because when I talk shit about football or whatever, it's not that personal to me. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to be like, I'm going to do everything I can to set this dude who's 2 times bigger than me off. I'm going to talk some shit still, but I'm not going to be like just drilling you. You know what I mean? It's a game. It's not like I'm trying to win a mental battle. Like I'm not at war. You know what I mean? This isn't a debate. It's just me giving you shit. So I would still give you shit, but I wouldn't try to trigger you, try to cause problems or anything. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the odds of the 49ers versus the Seattle Seahawks in case you are curious. The 49ers are favored. I think they were favored before the season to win every single game. I think that was like a big deal or whatever. That was like a huge thing. And I was like, I don't like that. It's bad juju. There's so much bad juju. Super Bowl hangover, favored to win every single game, the Madden curse. Like the signs were there, yo. The signs were there. And we just ignored them, dude. That's crazy. Now that I think about it. I've stocked beer at almost every Freddy's in their the Puget Sound. Oh, okay. So up there in Seattle. Olympia area. All right, so the odds for the Seattle Seahawks, and this is at Seattle, by the way. Keep that in mind, this is at Seattle. And Seattle can get loud no matter how bad their defense is. So keep that in mind. The 49ers are 3.5-point favorites. That is a lot. I think that's a lot. And I think I'm going to take the under on that. I think it's going to be a lot closer game than people realize because they're both trying to rest they're both coming off a game on Sunday, you know what I mean? And they have to play on Thursday. So the variables are just so much different. Rest is a problem. Do they have the energy? Do they have the depth? Because I'm talking about the Seahawks here. Do they have the depth because they lost their some of their starters? Like, you know, is it going to be a high scoring game? I think it's going to be a closer game. I'm going to take the under on the 3.5. I think it's going to be under that, but I still have the 49ers winning, of course. I did make a prediction on Sunday, but I didn't really truly think about it that much with Poggy. And I think I'm going to change my score before this game starts. Let me know what you guys got. What do you guys start? Do you think the 49ers are going to win this game by 3.5 points? Do you think they'll win by more or less than that? Because, yeah, it's I think that's tough. I think that's tough because I think both teams are, I'm not going to say must win because I think the 49ers are in a more must win situation. But I think for the Seahawks, if they were to lose to a division rival who is currently struggling, who is, while your team itself, the Seattle Seahawks, are going on a 2-game losing streak, then going on a 3-game losing streak, they have narratives they need to defeat. So it's not like the Seattle Seahawks, they need this win. If this was their first loss, I don't think it would be that bad. If there's their second loss, it would still be bad, but not as bad. But this would be their 3rd straight loss to a team who's their division rival and already lost to 2 other division rivals. So this is a huge loss through optics. If you really look at it, this would be a huge loss for morale for the Seattle Seahawks. All right, so we got some questions. All Cosmos point to disaster. Yeah, all three things were like, hey, yo, hey man, it's not gonna go that good. Like curses wise and like, you know, jinxing things wise, the signs were saying none of that shit was gonna happen. I can go tons of ways. They could blow them out. They can win close. They could lose close. And it's such a, like, I don't know what, it's kind of like what everyone's preaching. I don't know if you guys agree with this or not, because I don't know if I entirely agree with this, because I do think there's an identity the 49ers are trying to form. There's an identity. So once I say there's no identity, I don't think that's true. I think they're trying to find an identity, and it's just costing us games right now. But yeah, it's really hard to predict the 49ers when you don't know exactly who their identity is. You don't know their power ranking. You don't know what they can do completely. You don't know their potential. Their potential can be a complete dud, or their potential can be amazing. You don't know. I do know one thing that's a trend that's very consistent with the 49ers is that they cannot, and I mean they cannot, put together a complete game. The only time that they've ever been consistently good in a game is in the second quarter. I preach this all the time because it's absolutely amazing to see. Just to be like, yeah, we're going to dominate the second quarter. Fuck 1, 3, and 4. Like, it takes them a minute in the first quarter to get it going. And then in the second quarter, they just dominate. Okay. And then in the third quarter, they're doing the same thing, just trying to get things figured out as if they just started in the first quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, who knows what you're going to get? Either they figured it out or they didn't. So, yes, I feel like we can predict the second quarter. Like, we could be like, okay, they're going to be good at some point in the game for 15 minutes of a game. But outside of that, Yahtzee, okay? Who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. Niners are going to lose by a big margin. Juju reason prediction. God, I hope not. If we lose badly to the Seahawks, dude, badly as in like a 2-score game, because that would be badly. A 2-score loss would be a bad loss, like a very bad loss. Giving up another 10-point lead in the fourth fucking quarter, doing something like that again to a division rival for the third straight week, that would be bad. There's 2 ways it could be really bad. We could dominate, take the lead 10-plus points, and then lose it, or we could lose by 10-plus points. I think those are the worst ways that we could possibly lose. If we lose close, I don't think it's the end of the world. That means it just took 1 or 2 mistakes for us to lose. But if we lose because of a comeback, or if we lose because we got blown out, I don't even know where to start. Don't even know where to start. Agree. So true. My first video I watched you was the NFL players looked washed in a Titans jersey. Yeah, that's my biggest video right now is that washed jersey one. I didn't expect it to go that viral, to be honest. On TikTok, it's about to reach 1 million views. So that's exciting. And then I think here on YouTube, it's got like 500-something thousand views. I'm proud of that video. not gonna lie. I'm proud of it. You know, I thought it was just funny. I was like, holy crap, they do kind of look washed, don't they? I'm gonna make a video on it. I wonder if everyone else agrees, and everyone just did. So that's my most viral video right now. The offense is second in the league in red zone drives and 29th in red zone conversion. That's a crazy stat. They need to convert. Yes, 110%. I preached that earlier in the. I know you weren't here, but I preached that earlier in the live. But you and I are on the same page, man. I think that's 110% true. Just it's absolutely outstanding to have an offense just dominate. I guess it's not. I guess shorter field there is a. It's going to be harder to get the ball out, but the drastic drop is crazy. To go from second in the league to 29th is insane. That is such an insane drop from play. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Red zone's crazy. And to add on top of that, Strawberry, when they're first and goal, I don't know if you know this, but when they're first and goal, where's it at? Last year, they were fourth in touchdowns. 83% chance they would get a touchdown last year when they were first and goal. Well, I guess a goal situation. This year, when they're in goal situations, so it's a 10-yard, as you know, they're 31st. That is a 50% chance they're going to score a touchdown, which is 31st in the league. That's so mind-boggling, dude. So mind-boggling. I'll be back shortly, doctor's appointment. Hey, good luck at your doctor's appointment, man. Hope it goes good. Hope it goes good. Good luck. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Showing some love, says Sam. I appreciate that. Showing some love to Papa. That's cool. The running game in the red zone has been asked. That's been asked too. I don't think we've been run. That is true. I have seen like Mason get stuffed. I've thought to my head like, hey man, we should run here. Like, what are we doing? And then we will run it, but we'll get like 2 yards or like 1 yard. It's weird. It's really weird. And then, but I don't think we're running enough in the red zone either. So like, yeah, the red zone's not working, but I don't think we're running enough in the red zone to really kind of judge it. If that makes sense. Like, I do agree that it's terrible. And when they do run it, it looks bad, but I don't think we're doing it enough. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if we kept, like, we need some more statistics. I need more data, you know, for that. Because there's times we're in the red zone and I'm like, we should run it here. We should run it here. We should run it here. That's happened a lot in the red zone this season. That's happened a lot when they're not in the red zone. This is such a weird offense. They are succeeding. They are technically doing better than last year outside the red zone. They're doing significantly better. But whatever it is, this new offense they're running now, whatever it is, it's stopping you scoring touchdowns when you hit the red zone. So that's insane, man. Or he's losing yards. Yeah, or he's losing yards. Yeah. Yeah. Or fumbles, too. Fumbles in the red zone, dude. Like, it's almost as if someone's like just cursing that area. Yeah, it's mind-boggling. It's absolutely mind-boggling. But 3.5 points, I do think that's going to be under. Coming back to the point spread, I do think it's going to be under. I think it's going to be closer than that. Do I think it's going to be over or under 49 points? If I see both teams scoring 20-plus points, so I'm going to say yes. And if it's under, it's going to be close. It's going to be like 24-21, 24-23, or 28-20. It's going to be something like that. It's going to be super close to that line, but I'm going to take the over, and I'm going to say 50 points. I'm going to say it's going to be somewhere around there. And of course, I got the 49ers winning this game. But if it's going to be under, it's going to be close. It's going to be like 48, 47 points, somewhere around there. Some of his execution of the blocking, there has been poor run blocking and missed blocks in the likes of Kittle. And just, yeah, it's almost as if you can't even think of a reason on why they're epically failing like that. Like, you can't even say like they're tired. Other players go through this. Heck, other teams, considering we're first in first downs right now, like that means they shouldn't be that tired going into the red zone. That means they shouldn't be that tired. It's actually a mystery. It's truly a mystery. So I don't know. I'm gonna if this is a new offense and this is a new scheme that a lot of content creators have preached that, hey, this offense looks different. It looks like they're trying something different. That means there's going to be growing pains. I do agree with that, but you need to figure out what's going on in red zone. The growing pain for this offense, quite literally, is just one thing, and that is the red zone. If they can get like 5th in the red zone, 10th in the red zone, and ranking wise, this offense would be number 1. It truly would. They just have to figure that out. The moment they figure out the red zone situation, this offense is going to dominate. But they're not even like, it's just so crazy the drop off of how bad it is. It's not as like a simple 15 spots down or 10 spots. They're down like 27 ranks bad of red zone. And that is, how can you be that bad? How can you be so dominant the rest of the field, but be so bad in the red zone? It's absolutely freaking amazing. Everyone wants to blame Kyle, but there has been bad execution from everybody, dude. Everybody, the moment we reach the red zone, dude, every single aspect plays like shit in every way possible. I've blamed the offense. I've blamed wide receivers. I blamed Brock Purdy. I've blamed Brock Purdy. I've blamed Jordan Mason. I've blamed every player. Heck, I even blamed Kyle Shanahan because that's dude, you need to do better at scheming that first read to get open. That's your fucking job. So like I do think Kyle Shanahan, I'm not blaming him entirely. I think people who blame him entirely are just saying, well, let's just blame him without actually being real with themselves. The entire thing isn't doing good. All of it. And I, you know what? And if you, I don't know if you guys agree with this or not, but even last year we kind of struggled with consistency. Like we even did that. Like we did the whole second quarter being great, first, third, and fourth quarter being bad. You know, we've done that before, sort of last year, and I think it's kind of carrying over. I felt that way. Last year I didn't think we were very good at being consistently good throughout the game. We had games where we were consistently good throughout the game. That happened. That's not happening this year, so it's worse. It's even worse. But there was hints of it last year. There was hints, especially in the playoffs. Especially in the playoffs. Don't get started. All right, so my score, I'm going to predict, I want to say 30-27 49ers. That's my score, 30-27. Let me know what your score is in the comments. People who watch this later, let me know your score in the comments. I want to see what you guys got. I feel like I'm going to read someone saying like 6-10 or something. I need to drink some water. I'm about to lose my voice. 52 minutes. Dude, we're 53 minutes into this live, man. Time flies, yo. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are making time fly. That means we're having fun, you know? Man, for a whole 53 minutes, we talk about the 49ers and Seahawks. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, there's one. Before we move on, though, I'll get your comment in a second, Strawberries. I don't want to forget this. We called up Braden Willis, a tight end, right? We lost Jordan Elliott for this game, but we don't call up a D tackle. We have Kalia Davis, Kevin Givens, and Malik Collins. We have 3 D tackles. What? I'm going to assume, not Robert Beal, Leonard Floyd, or Nick Bosa, but I'm going to assume Samo. I can't say his name. We all know what I'm talking about. I'm going to assume they're going to use him as like an outside-inside kind of guy. I'm going to assume that they're going to look at him as a D tackle as well because he does got the size. Like how big is that Sam guy? I feel like a dick not knowing his name. Probably like what's his size? Does he have the size for it? Yeah, he is. He's 26 years old. He's 269 pounds. He's 6'1". So he's a tweener. He's a tweener. So yeah, I can see them using that. So that's I thought that was weird. I thought that was weird they didn't call up Evan Anderson or T.Y. McGill or anything like that. I'm actually shocked by that, but I'm assuming they're going to use Sam O a lot more as well. That's my guess. Last year they were third quarter team. They would do okay in the first half, maybe 10, 17, and then put it. Yes, that's actually a great way to put it. Yes, they would. It would be like a funky first half, and then the second half They either would take off or they don't. Yeah. I have no idea the score, but I feel like it's be within 2 points. Ooh, dude, that's crazy, bro. That's oh god, it's got me all. That sounds like there's gonna be a 2-minute drive. 2-minute can't think of the word right now. 2 minute, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to be a ball of nerves. I can't get to know in advance. Yeah, for real, dude. 2-point game, man. Immediately my heart started racing when you said 2 points. Like, bro, dude. I know I said 3 points, but it's a field goal. But if it's 2 points or whatever, that means it was either like a 2-point conversion difference or it was a 2-minute drive. I can't think of the word, but you know what I'm talking about. The 2 minutes, one last second score, or touchdown or some shit, or a field goal. That sounds like a very tight game, dude. Sounds like a very tight game. All right. Let's look at this article that I thought was interesting. I guess we're not going to do any videos today because this live is going to come up. I'm going to have to change the name of this live because we were supposed to watch some videos, but we got all caught up. Blah, I can't speak. It's kind of coin flip. Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get, man. Like this game is like the definition of a box of chocolates at this point. No idea what we're going to get. Like, it's just like, yeah, man, what is this team? What is this team? Oh, yeah, be sure to like the live, guys. If you guys like the content or like that, if I've entertained you today, I really appreciate it. I would hope to entertain you further on. If you sub, this is what I love to do. I go live just about I got to say just about now because there's going to be days where I can't go live now. But most of the time, like 6 out of 7 days of the week, I'm probably going to go live. Pretty sure. That's my commitment for sure. But there may be like one live here and there I'm going to miss every now and again just because things have changed. All right, so why 49ers need to fix 4 things to avoid falling in the NFC West. I have not read this article, by the way, so I do not. The only thing I read was one thing, that was injuries, and I'll give my opinion on that in a second. But I saw this article, and I was like, what are the 4 things that you think the 49ers need to fix? I'm rather curious, ESPN. I'm rather curious. After tonight, man, it's going to say a lot about the team. It's going to say a lot about the team. It's going to say a lot about both teams, really. But I feel like a loss here would not significantly, but a lot more than Seattle. If the Seattle loses, that's still a big deal, but it's not as big compared to the 49ers. Who's playing tonight? 49ers, Seahawks. All right, so 49ers need to fix 4 things. See what happens, see what it says. I'm not reading all that. I'm not reading all this shit. Where is it? What does it say? When you have a lead on people, you need to finish them. Says Shanahan. You know what, dude? You know what? I've been, I feel like I've been saying that, and many other people have been saying that for a while now. But I like that he's saying it. The way you finish people is you continue to score, and if you aren't doing that, you can't turn it over, and you've got to stop people. Then that's a little too aggressive now. Now you're saying like we've got to score, not run the ball, kill the clock, play conservative, etc. Sounds like he's thinking, got to score, man. And I think that's what's been our Achilles heel in the red zone. It's like, we got to score, dude. I think that's what happens. For some reason, that vibe, just by reading that, I got the vibe that it's like once we reach the red zone, it's score or nothing. And that pressure is just way too much. That's how I read that. That could not be true, but like that's just how I read it. That you can't turn it over or you got to stop people at the end. Yeah. That's true. If your offense, and that's another thing, we're not playing complementary football. We are in spots, but when it comes to the end of the game, we're not. If our defense can get some stops towards the end, if our defense actually performed and got like one clutch stop towards the end a couple times already this year, we would have more wins. We really would. The defense has not been complimentary. It hasn't been like, yeah, the offense is not doing very well in the red zone, but our defense has some clutch stops and they're doing their job. It's not like that. It's just been this whole, you're playing bad and you're playing bad. We can't compliment you. If you fuck up in the fourth quarter, nothing is helping each other out. It's And you can't win games. If one is not being able to complement the other, you're not going to win. You could have one clutch stop with 5 minutes left, offense not do good, and then with 2 minutes left, they go score a touchdown. That's not clutch, that's not complimentary. So, all right, so they say injuries is one of the things the 49ers need to fix. How the fuck do you fix injuries? I'm sorry, that's kind of a random variable in my opinion. I think injuries are really like one of the most unpredictable things that are outside of your control ever, other than getting the right coach, getting the right nutritionist, things like that, health coach or whatever. But for the most part, injuries, you can't fix them. They are what they are. The 49ers at first, they had like a lot of injury problems, but they were doing crazy shit. Like they were running up like big ass hills, really putting stresses on their Achilles and crap. They were really pushing themselves earlier in the Kyle Shanahan era. They really were. And they were getting a shit ton of injuries that way. This year, it's not nearly as bad, and yet they're still getting injuries. So I do agree on a sense there is a responsibility to take care of the players, but for the most part, it's just the player, man, whether or not they get hurt. Because I've seen like Tua, for example, dude gets concussions from, no offense, basic-ass tackles. I mean, basic tackles, dude. It just depends upon the player. It just happens. Ugh. Sam's got 24, 31, 49. Yeah, thanks, man. I think they have to. The only wins in this year are when they get to 30 points. That is not a recipe for success. Yes, it's not. It's absolutely not. Especially when the offense can't score 30 points on injury. You can fix injuries with a hammer. I wish. Some sort of magical hammer of some kind. Some sort of like a Minecraft hammer. I don't know why I said Minecraft hammer. I was trying to think of something kidsy and magical. That's what I thought of. All right, so what's the next thing? Oh, what does this guy say? Who is this? Every time you have injuries, this is Shanahan. Every time you have injuries, everyone knows everyone knows it makes it tougher. Why was that hard to say? But people have injuries throughout the league. You've got to be able to overcome those. 110% agree. That's why you hire depth. That's why you sign depth. Okay, because you can count on injuries happening. And all 32 teams are aware of this situation. So I do agree. If you do not get depth for said positions that you would be more concerned about, such as safety or linebacker with Dre Greenlaw being out, you don't address that depth, it's kind of a big deal. That's on the coaching. I guess that's one thing you can do is just prepare for the injuries. But I think the 49ers, for the most part, did that. I don't remember anybody complaining about anything on defense depth-wise except for D-tackle. Like, D-tackle was the only thing people complained about, an edge rusher. And I think people believed in D-tackle once Kalia showed what he could do and when Malik Collins showed what he could do. I think a lot of people backed off of D-tackle as an issue. But pass rusher was a problem. So anything that happens to our pass rushers, that is John Lynch and whoever's responsible to fill in that situation, to fill in those positions, if we do not have the backup for it. If it was like 3 injuries to the DNs, like 3 players go out, that's outside your control. That is too many injuries to overcome, no matter who you hire. But if one goes out and you struggle with that one person going out, that is a GM coaching problem. Like the sports conditioning guy left, I wonder if this has anything to do with it, but also this league seems like it's just horrible. Yeah, injuries are insane this year. Last year was quarterback injuries. Last year was just, I think, like how many franchise quarterbacks went out? When I say franchise, it was like top 15 quarterbacks. So like 8 of them or something like that was out for the rest of the season. Crazy. This year, it's like wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, some quarterbacks. It's just, this year's crazy. Peace. Have a good week of stream. Yeah, you too, man, Sam. Good to see you, brother. Take care. They need to take the lumps with the youth and let them work through it. Winters, Mustafa, Green, Cowan, Garendo should all be playing. Yes, I agree with that. I mean, if your depth or the players that you hire are not performing or even playing as a top or even remotely to a starter or what's the word for? Like if they're not even ranked anywhere between like 32nd or 40th in their position as a depth piece, put in a rookie. Seriously, put in a rookie. Might as well get him out there, give him this experience, might play well. It's not like quarterback. It's not like quarterback where you lose that kind of confidence. When it comes to other positions, man, even if you're losing, you get better most of the time. You learn things. You get better. You know what I mean? And I agree. I think that for the running back, Garendo, I think he needs to keep playing. I like Mustafa. I'm glad that he's starting. Malik is starting. So that's good news. Coaching is making some good decisions here that the fans agree with, I'm assuming, like you and me. Mustafa is playing, so I'm excited about that. Jair Brown, Lat was drafted the year before, and he's starting. I'm excited about that. Green, I want to see more of Green, and I think we will. Actually, I don't know why I just said that, because now I'm thinking, for some reason I just thought of Yadam hurt, but I don't think he's hurt anymore. What's his injury? Yeah, Yadam's not hurt, so, and they're going to go with the vet in this situation. But I would like to see Green more than Yadam, but, I mean, he didn't play bad last week. I don't think he played that bad. I actually thought he played a lot better than he did in the Rams game. Okay. He played a lot better. But, you know, and so if he's showing that promise and he's showing better, he's actually doing a lot better, I don't think we should remove him, and I don't think the coaching would. But I wouldn't be against it. I'd be all for it. Like, put Green out there, man. I want to see what he could do. And linebacker, let me drink some water for this so I can rant. I need to rant about this for a second. I was just about to get in that. Yeah, Adam's actually been playing better. Yeah. My throat's getting like dry. If I talk for like an hour, dude, it kills my throat. Heck, even Bethune and Graham over Campbell. That's what I was thinking, dude. That's what I was thinking. Campbell just looks atrocious, dude. I'm not fat shaming, but he looks overweight. All right. And that is slowing him down. He looks sluggish. He doesn't look muscular out there. He looks like he literally came off the couch with no practice. Okay. Not to mention, cut off the. I don't know if people hate. I don't think people should have long hair. Kittle, I don't think he should have long hair. I don't think Campbell should have long hair because I think it slows you down. Or it makes you look slower. I mean, that's maybe a small complaint. And a lot of people may disagree with that. But every time I see someone with long hair, I think to myself, why? Isn't there like a whole aerodynamic thing to this? I understand there's not that much weight to the hair, but like you're still swooshing there's still something dragging your head here and there. You know what I mean? Like if I was a player, I would have short hair, even though I'm bald. But if I could grow hair, I would never have long hair, ever. But that's a small complaint. What I'm saying is Devondre Campbell, we all know, is terrible at tackling. He's terrible at coverage. He's never in the right gap. You know, sometimes he's actually in the right gap. He just fucking sucks at tackling. Like, I swear to God, this is what happened with the Arizona Cardinals last week. Like, bar for bar, dude. They were averaging 1 point something yards a carry in the first half. In the second half, this is what they did. You know what, dude? Let's stop. Why are we running at Fred Warner? Why are we doing that? Why are we running at Malik Mustafa? What's going on here? What are we doing? They have Devondre Campbell. That dude fucking blows. Let's just run at him. Kyler Murray did it. That's how he got that long touchdown. He was running, and then he saw a hole. Even when Devondre Campbell had the W against the defender, and if he had the speed, the ability to break off, or whatever, he would have got Murray. But Murray's like, oh, there's Campbell. 40-yard touchdown. That's what happened. That's literally what happened. This dude is so bad. Bethune and Graham over him. Any day. Heck, I know Fowles is not playing, but even Fowles, dude. Like, play the guy. Play Graham. Play Bethune. Heck, sign Devin White. I'm certain Devin White is better than Devondre Campbell. He has to be, dude. His speed alone would make him better. His speed alone would do it. Absolutely insane. All right, so let's go ahead and jump over to this. Red zone issues, that is the number one thing. Injuries, like I just talked about that. I think that's outside your control mostly. Red zone issues, though, yes. That is the number one thing that needs to be fixed. This is what Purdy says. You can do so much with Christian out there in the backfield. Line him up as a receiver. Defenses have to have him a plan for it. It's a little different, but regardless, we have players to still make it happen. I have noticed, like, Mason has been really good in the passing game, I think. However, I have noticed Mason lined up on the outside like Christian McCaffrey would do in the red zone. look, man, he's not a receiver. He can catch the ball, but why is he lined up like he's Christian McCaffrey? Like, yeah, I understand you're doing some things that Christian McCaffrey. He can do some things, not the level he's doing, like not the execution, but clearly he's been able to catch the ball and run some routes. But he's not a wide receiver, so when he gets pressed, that dude is done. There's no even reason to look his way. Like, it's just, there's just some things I'm a little confused on. Why he's playing outside against the corner, I don't know. I'll never know. If the Eagles, who don't have a good linebacker, are letting White go, I don't think that's a good sign either. But like I said, I'll take him for his speed at this point. But you're not wrong. They do have problems at linebacker. That is their weakness, and yet somehow they let him go. So the expectation wouldn't be like he's a good replacement, but the expectation would be like he's a better body than Devondre Campbell. That's how I'm looking at it. And I knew the 49ers were going to commit to him when they signed him. They didn't sign him to be depth or whatever. They signed him to start. So I knew that was going to happen. But at this point, it's done, man. I have seen the back of Devondre Campbell's jersey so many times. I've seen it would show the clip of Devondre Campbell trying to go in for a tackle and be like, okay, dead to rights. 15-yard run. Jeez. He can catch, throw the motherfucking catch. That's another thing I agree too. Sometimes you'll see Mason wide open on a check down. I have seen that. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The Smitty in the house. You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong there. I have noticed a couple times he's open. But then again, I have noticed a couple times when he's open that another wide receiver catches the ball. So, like, I love the fact that Brock Purdy's not just looking to check down, even though it's open, because he is finding open wide receivers down the field. But there are times, man, there are times where it's just like, no. I mean, if you just looked his way, we probably would have got a first down. Okay. Or we would have got a first down in the red zone, because we don't have problems with first downs outside the red zone, as we've already talked about. So, yeah. All right. That is everything. I'm going to have to change the name of this video because I did not talk about Kyle Shanahan's presser, and I did not look at locker room interviews. And I got to get out of here. So I'm going to change the name of this video. But, yeah, it's been awesome, guys. This is a great conversation. We went this whole entire thing without going through videos. We talked about nothing but the 49ers versus Seahawks game. It was a fantastic conversation. So thank you so much, Strawberry Rex, for joining the conversation. You're awesome, brother. Appreciate you. The Smitty, I know you got the back end of the live, but if you want to go through the live, hey, man. Or give me a like. Appreciate that too, man. You're awesome. Sam, good to see you, man. No Border Sports. Good to see you too, brother. Good to see you too. Papa J, take care, man. OG in the house. And Milwaukee, good to see you, man. Good to see you. And I think there's one more. There's one more guy, right? Tyler Hilton. All right, guys. That is it. Let me know what your predictions are for the Seattle Seahawks versus 49ers game. I'd love to hear it, and I usually read the comments. So most of the time. Sometimes I don't get alerts. Sometimes it's kind of weird, but all right, I digress. To everybody who watches this later, sub. If you like the content, man, I go live every day just about, okay? Just about every single day. I post just about every single day. Actually, I do post every single day, no matter what. If I miss a live, I'm posting something. Maybe mostly a short, but I'm digressing again. Sub if you like the content. Like if you like the live. It makes my 49ers little heart go from here to here. All love, fam. I'll see you next video. Video.